Hi folks, welcome to week 18 of the Lucy Letby trial. Remember, this is a murder and attempted murder trial. There are 22 charges against the nurse Lucy Letby. So this was an interesting week, I think, in court. On Monday, they were talking about child K. Now, this is child K. Very sadly did die. However, Letby is not on a murder charge for child K. She's on an attempted murder charge. So the prosecution, and we'll come on to that, prosecution said that she, or are alleging that she has deliberately dislodged the girl's breathing tube. Now, child K was 25 weeks at birth, weighed less than 2 pounds. One of the doctors said at 3:50 a.m. there was a sudden deterioration of child K. Blood oxygen levels were at 40%, which is incredibly low. The tube was adjusted. The doctor noted it had slipped by 8 centimetres. Child K was actually moved to a different hospital and died 3 days later. Now, the cause of death was severe respiratory distress and extreme prematurity. The defence have argued that the tube was not dislodged by Letby, but the tube was actually dislodged by child K, moving around rather violently. So on Tuesday, they spoke to this doctor again, and the doctor said that they were under pressure by the hospital to not make a fuss. So they had noticed that Letby was present during a lot of these collapses of the very unwell babies. So this doctor had started to notice a bit of a pattern, and they raised concerns in the autumn of 2015, and then they raised concerns again in February 2016. Letby was removed from the front line in summer 2016. So there's nearly been a year since these concerns were raised and any action was actually taking. So the team were aware, the nursing team and the medical team were aware of Lucy Letby and the deaths and the near deaths. And the doctor was very unhappy that Letby was left alone with child K. So they went back to check on child K. They saw Letby by the incubator not doing anything. So her hands were not inside the incubator, but equally she was doing nothing. Blood oxygen level of child K had fallen below 80. No alarm was sounding, and this alarm should go off at 90. And the doctor just couldn't make sense of why the tube was dislodged, because they said that K was not a vigorous child. So that kind of goes against with what the defence are saying, that child K dislodged her own tube. So on Wednesday, the doctor again gave evidence in court, and they confirmed that Letby was doing nothing when he walked in. The defence brought up the police interviews. She denied doing anything, said she was about to call for help, and she was waiting to see if child K self-corrected, which I'm sure a lot of children do. So the Crown is not alleging she caused the death, but they are saying it is attempted murder. Now, later on in the week, Thursday and Friday, the court started looking at child N. So we've jumped from K to N, but we have already looked at child L and M last week and the week before. So child N was born prematurely, as many of these children are, and the allegation from the prosecution is that Letby attempted to murder child N on 3 separate occasions. So child N deteriorated, and the prosecution are saying that this was consistent with some kind of inflicted injury or an injection of air. Letby called for help when child N collapsed and gave breath support, breathing support to child N. And child N had to have 6 doses of adrenaline before he stabilised. So specialists were visiting the hospital, and a nurse gave evidence in court. And now this nurse said that Letby was agitated and asked twice, "Who are they? Why are they here? Who are they?" Child N was later taken to Alderhay Hospital to treat their blood disorder. So child N is an attempted murder case. So I think this week we've had some really interesting evidence. I think the fact that one of the doctors had pieced together that there was a pattern and that this doctor was told not to make a fuss is quite interesting evidence. So tune in next week for week 19.